All right, so you guys said you've been interested in the Honda stuff, so we figured some stuff out. All right, I went through, I cleaned the throttle body today. I always get rid of this piece here. If you guys don't know, the bottom is a coolant hose. The top is for the crankcase ventilation, which goes right here. This is the induction tube. Now, in my opinion, cold air intakes do nothing for an engine other than make it louder. Unless you're actually sucking in cold air. But the guys that take the air filter and they put it right here next to the battery, that doesn't do shit for your engine. If anything, it makes it less efficient. So, factory air box, got rid of the bottom part, so that way you can see down in there it sucks cold air. But I'm more so doing it for the sound. We blocked off all of the ports off of here. Something shaky in there. And then this is a vacuum actuated resonator. You can see in there has a throttle valve. This opens in between like 2300 and 3700 RPMs. It makes the engine quieter, induction noises and stuff. And then this is just a resonator that works all the time. So we got rid of all that. I got rid of you can see the lines are looped down here. So this will go up into a metal pipe and then back and this and that. And yeah, you just loop the lines. It's not that hard. So now, throttle body is cleaner than it was. You guys can see in there. I didn't take it off to clean it. It's actually not that dirty, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But on a lot of the vehicles I own, I will go through, we'll plug this EGR valve in, which by the way, that thing's gonna get deleted as well. What I'm gonna do with the EGR valve is I'm just gonna make block off plates so that it stays put. We capped the vacuum line up here. And then this guy down here, whenever we replace the headlights, I'll pull that out. But just wanted to show you guys where we were at. This will make a huge difference in induction noise. So it'll just, basically the whole goal of this is that it sounds cooler and also less things to worry about because there's a big box that sits right down in here. And when I go to replace this transmission with the shorter geared transmission, that's just one less thing I got to worry about. And then with the sound system, we're going to be throwing that in today. I don't have the wiring yet, but I at least want to get it in and mocked up. So let's finish this up. We're going to also be getting rid of this guy here because that sends oil into your crankcase and it just sucks. So probably put an air filter right there. And there you go. All right, so now all that bullshit's out. I ended up blowing this speaker and this speaker. They were great for a couple of days, but they're gone now. So we have some of these guys right here. Skosh. Wife's starting her Dakota. But we have some of these. We're gonna throw these two in the back. Gonna get the sub and amplifier all mounted up. We're just gonna go a single with this one. Honestly, a single makes the most sense. It doesn't take up a ton of room. I still get my trunk space. So, and then I gotta make mounting brackets and shit because I want it to stay in place. Don't these just bring back memories? I'll tell you what, if you want bass, these stock speakers, I should say, if you want bass for like 3 days, these stock speakers are so good. That's all they do really well is bass. And then this one started clipping, that one went out completely. And then the passenger two are just holding on for dear life. So from these little bastards, I don't know how long these will last because I don't think that's supposed to twist like that, but you know, speaker's a speaker. We'll see how they work. If they work like shit, I'll go buy new ones. Let's look at the specs. 75 watts RMS. Okay, I can deal with that. Usually they're 50, so we'll see. Let's throw these bad Larrys in. We're gonna throw them in just like that with the lettering facing. So I'm sitting here, got the both back speakers in, all right? Now, I wanted to reuse the OEM bolts just for that like nostalgia shit, but I'm gonna throw the old lady covers back on. It's pretty bad that, I mean, they're good, they're okay, you know, they're aftermarket speakers, but the front right speaker outdoes the two rear speakers so like They're really, really good. At least for like a couple days, they're really good. But once you actually put some power to them, because I've been using this cassette. I just went to Walmart and bought that for $8. You put it in there and it's got an aux cable. That's what I used back in the day. And it works really, really well. Obviously, it's going to sound even better when we get an aftermarket radio with actual, you know, actual stuff in it that's supposed to make it sound better. But yeah, so I just need to get front speakers yet, a radio. We have the sub, we have the amp. I need to get the tweeters yet, because this car actually has tweeters. So we're gonna get those. And after that, I mean, interior should be finished. Might get a shift knob for it. Oh, we're also, this is getting replaced with a 212 volt ports. Slowly trying to figure out where to mount everything. So we got the amp. I think this is how I did my last setup. Just got rid of the that guy right there, the little lock box. Obviously it's key specific, so I'm gonna keep it around in case we ever reuse it. Or if I resell the car, this or that. We're gonna build a platform in here, is what I'm gonna do. I did it on my last one, so we'll have some wood beams that go across. And then obviously only going with a single amp, or a single sub, which Josh says this sub will be enough. I was running 2 Sony Explodes before, but apparently this sub will overpower a lot of it, so we're gonna try it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and we just upgrade to 2. But in the meantime, it would be nice to have some trunk space and usable stuff. So I'm gonna try to keep this carpet as shitty as it is. We're gonna build that platform and then figure out where I'm gonna put the this guy itself. Now this I want removable, so the only thing this is gonna have hookup wise is right there. All right guys, so yesterday I had the detail guy come in. He got the entire interior. Look how clean that is. Ignore the floor because I was driving it around. So if you guys see, Brandon did a pretty decent job on the interior. Now there's a few spots I'm gonna tackle I didn't have him do. I am gonna clean out inside the sunroof area. When I pull this center console, I'm gonna clean out all inside of there as well. We're gonna have to pull this center console to pull this black piece off, and then that allows me to change the radio out. We have everything on order except the tweeters and the physical radio itself. I'm trying to find, it was either a JVC or a Pioneer radio, but I'm trying to match this thing to what I had back in the day. Now we are going to be replacing this plug with what's on Bertha, but you have to pull that to pull this thing. So we're going to take the 2 screws out of the bottom here so that I can pull this piece off. But I want to get this as clean as possible because you can feel the stickiness. He tried getting it with the steamer. It just really didn't make a difference. But yeah, you can see like he did a pretty decent job on. I know the camera makes it look terrible. What the hell? That looks clean as shit, and the camera just makes it look terrible. My wife also sits on the other side too, but interior came out really, really good. This thing's clean as shit. He went through, cleaned the trunk, got really the door jambs as well. You can see how clean the door jambs are. Hit them with the steamer. So basically today we're gonna finish up the maintenance that I need to get done. We're gonna do an oil change, and we're gonna do the bushings for that front, both of those strut bars. All right, so went over all of the suspension. Over here's tight. I have an upper control arm on order because of the ball joint, but it's tight over here. But I know how these things are. Unfortunately, we are not tight over here. See that? So I got both of them on order. It was like 75 bucks through Car Parts. So we got them on order. Now I need to figure out how to get this bar off. It's 2 bolts right there. So I'm gonna try to just get that off without touching anything else if possible, but everything else is good. All right, so I don't think we're gonna be driving this home today, and not for the reasons that you guys would think. So I got this bar out, by the way, absolute pain in the ass. But yeah, this ball joint, it's just, I don't trust that. I got the new ones on order. Unfortunately, won't be until Saturday, so we're gonna be driving the truck around. Actually, I'll probably take the truck home today, but then I'll probably be taking the bike the rest of the week. So what I'm gonna do is get these, I'm gonna get this all cleaned up. So we know, I'm gonna set this the way that it goes. That way I don't forget. Set that just like that. towards the front of the vehicle, and then this little nut thingy on the bottom. And then I'm gonna clean these threads up, replace it, put all the new stuff. So I'm gonna throw it back together today, just so that I can at least pull it out, because I got customer work coming in this week and I can't tie up a bay. So probably put this on the trailer because I'm actually running out of room. But we're gonna use this guy right here to clean those threads up. I'll show you what they look like afterwards. Look at all that. It's not that it matters much, but it's not tight. I'm gonna wait until I can put some pressure on that to get that up in there. And then after that, I'm just gonna leave it pretty much loose until we can get the new ones. These are super easy to do. You got one nut here, you got one nut under here, and one nut under here, and then the entire control arm, you can see, comes up, mounts right there. The whole thing just comes right out. So I ordered the whole thing, but this side's done. We have it torqued down. It said 32 foot-pounds. I think I put it at like 45 just to make sure. But that'll keep the wheel from moving side to side now. Now the next thing is making sure it doesn't move like this, you know, camber-wise. I don't trust it to drive all week. You can see pulling it off. This is the bottom, and the other side's pretty much the same. There's no play over here, but they're cheap enough that I'm just gonna replace things as in that. The brakes are in really good shape. There is a ton of pad left up here. The caliper should be here this week, but I guess we're really not gonna be driving this thing this week. I'll be driving my truck and that thing. So in the meantime, yeah, there's no play in that, but I don't think there's any play in this one either. But like I said, I'm doing everything in pairs, so that'll make it easy for the alignment shop. Once we get the new ball joint on, I'm probably gonna take it to get it aligned. All right, make this simple for you. Take the ball joint off, take the 210s out of here. That one was already broken / missing, so only one. Take axle nut off, push that up out of the way, take the shock bolt off, get that out of there first. This one was actually a lot easier until about the halfway point, and then it was an absolute fight. I don't even know where the nut went, to be honest. But once you get both of these tight ass bolts out, they are tight. You can pull this bad Larry out. Now remember, they only go in one way. This thing, it only faces one direction. So let's get that bad Larry out of there. There's one, and see if I can get that. There we go. So as you can see, pretty sure the yeah, I don't think that was, oh yeah, I'm doing that wrong. I don't know if that was even in there right. Shorter end goes towards the back, longer end goes towards the front. Yeah, at least that's how it was on the other side. These are so crushed down, I can't even tell. They look exactly the same size, whereas like these. So I'm just gonna do exactly what I did on the other side. Try not to let this ABS wire hang. If you want to, just come in here and just take those bolts out. That way you get a little bit more leeway, just like that. Then you're not stretching your ABS wire. But now that's out, I'm gonna go through, clean it with this thing. I did get the comment on, hey, I should go get one of those like little table thingies, and I think I have one, but honestly, this thing is a beast, and I like it a lot more for cleaning bolts and shit. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up quick and thrown in. This side was way easier than the other side, but that's probably because I had already done the other side. All right, when doing your oil change, always take the oil cap off, pull that up so you don't forget about it. And let's see how dirty this oil is. She's pretty black, like a diesel. There was enough on the stick, so it is what it is. It's been a hot minute since I've done an oil change on a Honda, so I don't even know where the filter's at. Probably back behind. I had to break out the old biggie pliers because some asshole was too lazy to put a little bit of oil on the O-ring. Guys, you don't have to put oil on the O-rings, but if you don't, I just assume you're an asshole and you're lazy, all right? Because the next guy, it's the next guy's problem. So you should just be able to spin these off by hand, not a problem. I've never had an oil filter on a car that I've done be difficult to get off on the next time. So take some of your old used motor oil and just put a nice little dab on, just like that. I'm gonna soak this and then I'm gonna throw it up there. Now oil filter wise, I don't care what oil filter guys use. I like my Mobil 1 stuff for the Hondas, and that's just me. But now we're gonna fill this bad Larry up, start it up, let the filter get full, let it all drain, check it, make sure we're good, because I actually don't know how much this thing takes. So I went and got 5 quarts, but on top of the 5 quarts, actually I think it's over here, we also use, actually my dad got me into using this stuff where, I know it's up here, I think I see the cap, yeah. We use this stuff, Marvel Mystery Oil, smells like root beer, but just a little bit, that's all you need. I just got the wheels torqued down. I did go ahead and get that guy tightened up as tight as it'll go. So it's bottomed out. I know it doesn't look like it, but it is. Like I said though, I'm not driving it. It's just enough to move it out. I'm not gonna move it out until tomorrow, until I'm clean. But oil change done, front radius rods, those are done. And yeah, now we got a bunch of other stuff coming. I'll touch on that once it comes, but in the meantime, I have a bunch of goodies coming for this, so I'll show you guys that as everything comes in. This is going to be a long series. This car is not really going to look the same. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do about the exhaust. I thought about just buying the Canon exhaust for 150 bucks and then just chopping the midsection like I did on my original car and putting in 2 resonators and then replacing the muffler. But I saw that Yanaka sells a 2.5-inch system with already 2 resonators there and a muffler that's quiet, but it's 400 bucks. So I'm trying to decide what route I want to go. I really think that to rebuild the car that I had before when I was younger, I either have to have a twin loop muffler, which basically it goes in, comes back around, and then goes back into itself and comes out, or I need to have the Canon. I think older me is saying let's go with the twin loop. I think that's the route I'm going to go, and then I might just order the Canon exhaust and build the 2 because it's going to save me. I mean, all said and done, I'll be into the Canon exhaust 400 bucks to get what I want, whereas with the Yanaka, I'm going to end up replacing the muffler with 150 bucks one, so it's like I'll be into that one 550 bucks. So, and yes, it needs an exhaust because the midsection here, it leaks at the flex pipe. Not a big deal, but rather than replacing it with a factory part, like I said, we're trying to recreate my first car as much as I possibly can. That's why I bought this car. Like, there will be some upgrades. So the nice thing is there will be some upgrades to that system. Like, obviously, my original car didn't have Bluetooth radio. It just had an aux. Obviously, that's going to get upgraded. We're going to have the little green thingy there. And window tint is going to be the biggest thing. This thing is getting 5% all the way around. But same interior, same basic concept. I want the original radio that I had. I want the original wheels that I had. We're either looking at the 98 Accord SIR wheels or the XXR 15 by 8s, I think they were. So I'll put a picture on the screen of what I used to have. So it's between those two, but I really want the XXRs. And then obviously these will be clear. My taillights used to be tinted. My headlights used to be tinted. We're not going to do that. I'm going to actually get some aftermarket ones. And then, yeah, and the big difference is this one will be boosted. We're going to try to find the original transmission that I had as well, because I had a shorter geared transmission. That's what I want. This one has the long gears and the second gear grinds. So perfect time to do it. My original one also had the EGR deleted, and it also had the PCV and all that stuff deleted and taken out too. But I want to make sure that there's no check engine light on this car. My original one always had a check engine light. Not for the EGR, but for all the other stuff that I deleted, like the catalytic converter and this and that. This car, at least until it blows out, I want to keep the catalytic converter. But there you guys go. Also, it's kind of nice. This has the same problem. So I'm not going to fix this because my original car had the same exact problem. I'm just going to let that go. It's a nostalgia thing to me. We did have the front lip. That's going to happen. Those will be white. The headlights will be black housing, but regular lenses. And then maybe a brow. But the other difference, too, is I didn't have a VTEC model. But I kind of like the VTEC. You get better fuel mileage with it. And then when you really want to like punch on it, you get the bigger cam. Whether it's practical or not really. This was also deleted on the original car. I had a cold air intake, but obviously adult me does not care about a cold air intake. It's already cold air being sucked in anyway, but that's going to get replaced with a boost tube too. So keep your suggestions coming. I kind of have an idea of where this car is going to go. The grill's coming as well, but that's where we're at. So, and I'm pretty sure I had a prelude with the sunroof. So sunroof is a nice touch to everything. And the original car did this as well. See how there's the fucking lineage off? So we're also going to replace all the locks, replacing the door handles. Those are already on order. And we're going to be replacing all the window regulators because actually we're going to be replacing the window regulators on the front too. But the back two are good. The front two, it's definitely a fight getting these front windows up. If you guys know Hondas, you know what I'm talking about. But appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching the series on this transformation.